Hey, it's Luke Miller here. Big massive thank you for coming along to watch this video. I've been musing a little bit over a few things this morning, and I wanted to share it in a video to do with some of like the natural laws of how things seem to work in the planet and how this relates on a big massive scale also. And one of the things I've been thinking about is the Trinity. Like, there's so many trinities in the world. You know, we have the mind, the body, the spirit. You know, we have cause and effect, which is ultimately cause, action, effect. You know, we have all these different things with trinities, but one I've been thinking about at the moment is that of birth, life and death. You know, and it's like everything in the world is, at least to my understanding, at least to my knowledge, is accustomed to this birth, life, death process. If you think of a human being being conceived, you know, they're conceived, and then the process starts, right? Like, you might think of the birth as like when the baby comes out of the womb, but I guess the actual birth is before that, right? Because something happens. You have this alchemy that happens when the sperm meets the egg, and then the birth happens, right? Inside, the baby is born, so to speak, and then the life starts inside the womb, and then the birth is kind of like, I would guess it's like a rebirth to a certain extent, right? It's like an actual bringing into the physical reality, right? You know, and then we go along for a certain amount of time. I'm not too sure how long this is, but it's like we grow, right? Like, you know, as a child, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all these years we're growing, you know, like our clothes are getting too small for us, you know, like we keep growing and growing and growing at this really exponential rate. I don't know, any of you have children, you know, like it's they just keep growing. They just keep growing and growing at that young age, especially like the really young ages. You know, they just go from being this tiny little bubba, you know, to like becoming a small little human, you know, in a very short period of time. But then we get to a certain age, and as I said, I don't know what age this is, like 40, 50 or whatever, when we stop actually growing. Like, our cells keep regenerating and all that kind of stuff, but we actually start the process of death. So we start to, like, you know, maybe get smaller, our organs stop working so well, you know, we're more susceptible to things that old people are susceptible, like disease and all that kind of stuff. This doesn't mean this can't be prevented by making like great life choices and eating good healthy food and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately that's kind of the process. And it's the process for everything, right? It's like not just that, it's even like the creations that we create. Like, for example, this, let's find something around me. This coconut oil, for example, you know, it's been made, the glass has been made, and that glass will eventually disintegrate. So there was like this process of making it, you know, and the glass, I mean, I could probably leave that glass on the side of my house for my entire life, but ultimately it is in a process of dying right now, you know. Like, if you left it for, like, say 10,000 years or something, eventually it would like turn into dust and be gone, you know. So it's like this interesting process that everything in existence is going through this birth, life, then eventually death, you know, onto something else. And the real kind of thing that this has got me pondering this morning is, if you think of the birth of humanity, like the most agreed upon idea is that of the Big Bang, right? So, you know, nothing became something, or like an atom become something, it, you know, multiplied and become bigger, you know. That's the birth. If you think of the Big Bang, it's like boom, you know, like the theory is one atom became like millions of atoms in a very short period of time, you know. It's like, it was like literally this microscopic world that blew up to the size of like a tennis ball within a very short period of time. And then all the elements were birthed out of this, and hydrogen and what is it? All the different what do you call them? What do you call them, babes? gases, that's it, yeah, were born out of this. And then there were rocks and planets and air and whatever, you know, and then earth, and then people, and, you know, grow, then trees, and it's like, it's this thing which was nothing become all these things in this known universe. There's like billions and billions of stars, you know, and billions of planets, and, you know, infinite amount of mass, you know, an infinite amount of space, almost infinite amount of space that's just there, right? And then, but if everything in the universe is governed by this birth, life, death process, I wonder where the universe is on that cycle, you know. Are we still expanding? You know, because I think scientifically we are, right? Like the universe is in expansion mode, you know, so it's still growing, you know. But if everything is governed by these principles of the birth being the Big Bang, life being an ever-expanding existence, when are we going to step into that death stage, and what will that look like? What will it look like when we start to detract as a universe? Deep thoughts. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about this morning. So yeah, I'm just sending you very, very much love, and thank you for coming along to watch this video. We have a project that me and my beautiful partner, say hello Bethany,
hello,
she's the camera lady today, are working on, called Sacred Circles, and you can go to oursacredcircles.com and sign up for a free course, which will be part philosophical, part practical, going into like the archetypal existence, that like the archetypes that make up a human being. That will be part of it. Part of it will be the seals of Solomon, or the 7 chakras, and the relationships between each other, because they have these intricate, interesting relationships with each other that once you kind of understand and know, you can use it to live a pretty magical life. We're going to be going into certain pillars of our existence, and yeah, basically it's using love, compassion and truth to tune into our life purpose. And if you'd like to come along to it, it's going to be on the 20th of March next month, and it's going to be a free course, and you can sign up by clicking the link below this video. So yeah, sending you very, very much love, and I'll speak to you soon.